just recently taught a camp in Germany, and the level of play was advanced beginners to intermediate players mostly. And that would kind of translate to 3.035 in USDA ratings. And I noticed a few things. There were common themes that kept players from winning points, and apparently it doesn't matter where you are in the world. If you are not fixing those mistakes, you will remain at the level that you're at right now. To be perfectly honest, I am actually a little upset with myself because I did not take any footage at that camp for various reasons. I should have taken videos all day long with my SWINGVISION app, who is actually sponsoring this video. I would have been able to show the players exactly what they're doing and what they're not doing, because you're getting the exact same statistics that you see the pros get on TV, percentages of serves, returns, and you also get the visual cues of heat maps that show you exactly where you hit the ball and also where you were in the court when you were making those shots. In the camp I taught, we had topics for each session, and using the filter option that you have in the SWINGVISION app would have made it super easy to then go over those specifics. Either you can use the AI highlight reels that are basically compilated after each time you play, or you can just simply use the actual filter option to get the exact strokes that you want. And the absolute best of the SWINGVISION app for me as a coach is that all dead time is edited out. So a 2.5-hour match gets edited down to about 20 minutes. And if you want to receive a free swing stick fence mount that makes it super incredibly easy to take footage, then go ahead and use the link down below. 30 hours of recording time per month for less than $15, and you also get international free shipping and a 60-day money-back guarantee. The one thing that I said the absolute most last week in camp was to recover back behind the baseline. Randomly moving into no man's land, to my mind, honestly, is one of the biggest things that will keep you from progressing in the ratings. Opponents at lower levels don't quite yet have the precision and the consistency, control over the depth of their shots. And yes, a lot of balls land short and you will hit them from here. But once you're facing higher level players, they do have that control and they do deliberately vary the height and the depth of their shots. So if you're getting stuck here, like the player in the following example, you will lose a lot of points. So we're looking at the player here in the foreground, and after the serve, you see that he's already getting stuck inside the court. So I would love for him to recover back behind the baseline here. And he does get a short ball. But then look what he does there. He's just in mid-court here. To my mind, that short ball would have been an opportunity to come in, attack the ball. But because he's neither going in or recovering properly, he's now forcing himself to hit a really awkward shot. So where should you recover to? I would say at least a racket length behind the baseline. And yes, maybe your opponent, when they see you about a meter, racket length, 2 yards, whatever it is, behind the baseline, they might start drop shotting a little bit. But to be perfectly honest, I see a whole lot more points lost because people are stuck in no man's land. In here, when the ball then is coming deeper, you're going to be completely off balance because your first step will always be backwards. Another thing that actually happens quite a lot when players are somewhere here randomly creeping into midcourt is that they take balls that are out, because here the perception of where you are in the court and how deep the ball is going to go is not that great. You will know that the ball's out when you're behind the baseline if you were to take it out of the air. Better players cover a bigger area of court and they recover back. And in terms of, well, I'm always getting these short balls, that's okay. From back here, moving forward, you're always faster than being here and then stumbling backwards should your opponent hit a deeper ball. Next very common mistake that I saw, even when players started a little further back and recognized that a higher, deeper ball is going to push them off the baseline, they still did not adjust their shot selection. When you're back here, you now have a deeper court, Also, when you're that far pushed back behind the baseline, the net is further away, which makes it higher in relation to a position here, for instance. So let's look at the next example of a player who's in exactly those very, very passive and bad positions, quite frankly, and who's choosing the wrong shots for that situation. Same player, same issue here. You see how he's stuck right on the baseline, doesn't really recover, and a return that's not terrible, but not really that great, forces him to move backwards. And you see, as he's hitting the ball, he's falling off the ball, but he's still executing the shot as if he were completely on balance. And with his body weight leaning backwards, he is missing into the net here. What should you be doing when you are in off positions? Add height. Add height and depth. Whether you do that with a topspin or you just bump the ball up, I don't care how you do it. When you're that far out of position, the best you can hope for really is to restart the point. And as one of my coaches used to say, give them enough rope to hang themselves by making them hit more balls. I believe it was Craig O'Shaughnessy who shared with us the statistics that 70%, around 70%, of points at world-class level are between 1 and 4 shots. It could be aces, it could be serve winner, or it could then be that famous +1, the next shot after the serve, that will keep those rallies very, very short. And of course, the returns are also really, really good. The returners are aiming to neutralize the serve and then take over the point with their very next shot. In recreational tennis, and this is what I did see a whole lot in the camp as well, was that the returners are giving away way too many free points. And one of the reasons, quite frankly, is that players with their initial court position receiving a return are way, way, way too aggressive, so that they're basically making an okay service a really hard serve to return. So this time we're looking at the returner here, and you already see right from the get-go, on that wide serve, her body weight is pulling her wide. She is going to be off balance, and let's see what she's choosing to do. When you're being pulled out that aggressively, even if you're making this shot here and you're then choosing to come in to get into a decent volley position about here, look at all the distance you would have to cover. So it would have made a lot more sense to try to hit the ball higher, deeper, and then give it 2-3 aggressive steps to recover back into a much better defensive position. When you're this close inside the court, you are a lot of times forced to just move laterally because you don't have the time and space to move forward. If you're being pulled sideways, just as being pushed off the baseline is another way that should tell you that you're off balance. And at that point, you need to abandon all ideas of wanting to win the point right there. Trust yourself that you can rebuild the point, reset the point, and dig yourself out of that hole, especially if you're as fast as Veronica in that example. A great idea for a neutralizing return is to hit it right back at their socks. The server's momentum will most likely carry them into the court, and recognize this position here, the no man's land position. You want to then, with that deep return right at their socks, you want to exploit this bad position. You rush them, you jam them, and you also take away angles. And if you want to learn about the ideal footwork that you need to become a great returner, check out this video.